Hello, everybody. It's Kelvin Shaw, your career and business consultant, back with another business growth moment interview. And I'm super excited to have a special guest here today, Marie Bosco Burwell, who is Director of Recruitment Services at Recruiting in Motion. And I've known her for quite some time, since high school, actually. So before I jump into all that, Marie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kelvin. Thanks for having me here.
No problem. Why don't you give a little bit of intro to kind of your skill set, your expertise, your years of experience in your field?
Sure. So I've been doing recruitment consulting, I guess, for about 10 years now, just over 10 years actually. And I've been here with Recruiting in Motion for the last 5. And I have been sort of managing the team and sort of operating as the director here for the last 2.5 now.
Excellent. And what I can tell you is that Marie is an expert in this field. I know she says consultant, but literally the best I've ever seen in the industry. So I'm excited to have another business and career growth moment with her. And today we're going to speak about recruitment services and how they can help you in either your business growth and capacity growth there, and also in your career. So first kind of thought that I have here, Marie, is you've all seen that little meme: what you do, what other people think you do, what you wish you could do, etc. Uh, if you can break down what is recruitment services from a business standpoint, what do you do, and also from I would say, a career growth candidate standpoint.
For sure. So I think that there's a common misconception out there surrounding sort of what recruitment consultants do. So I'll start with, I guess, sort of what we actually do, which is we help clients, so companies that come to us with their recruitment and talent acquisition needs, and we help them to find the right candidates to fill their positions. So kind of in a short little kind of summary that how I like to describe that is we help find people for jobs.
Right.
So a lot of people assume that we help find jobs for people. That sounds like the same thing, but it's not. So candidates do come to us and ask for help with their job search. But a lot of candidates think that, okay, I've met with Kelvin Shaw now, Marie Bosco Burwell, and they're going to find me a job. That is a common misconception. We don't take a person and try to find a job for them. We
Right.
take a job and try to find the right person for that job.
Right. And on that same vein, we're going to try to juxtapose this between the two sides from a business standpoint and also from a candidate standpoint. But why should a company use recruitment services? What are the benefits there? Why? What's the purpose of them using it? And then also from a candidate, because I get this a lot on the candidate side, why should somebody use a recruitment services or a recruiter to help them in their career?
For sure. So I'll start on the business side of it. I think that a lot of companies, believe that recruitment services can be quite costly. And I think that if you look at it just straight from here's what the fee is going to be, it can sometimes seem a little bit overwhelming. What people don't necessarily understand is all of the hours that go into recruiting and headhunting, sourcing, screening, reference checks, background checks, all of that sort of stuff, right? That falls under talent acquisition or recruitment services. And I think that when you actually take a look at the cost of hiring to your business, onboarding somebody, the upfront sourcing, posting jobs, interviewing, screening, if you kind of take into account all of the time that takes you to do, it's actually quite costly for a business to take that on themselves. So when you reach out to a firm like Recruiting in Motion and sort of outsource that component of the job, or use them as your sort of business partner, your talent acquisition partner for the
Right.
recruitment, it can actually save you a lot of time and ultimately money, right? Time is money.
Right.
We all know that. And and from a candidate side, so I always tell candidates that a recruitment consultant should be looked at as sort of an additional prong in your multi-pronged approach to your job search, right? The recruiter isn't the be all and end all of your job search. You don't just meet with the recruiter and say, okay, I'm going to leave my job search in their hands
Right.
and they're going to get me a job, right? You need to look at a recruiter as, again, just a prong on that multi-pronged approach. They can be a resource to help maybe bring other job opportunities to your mind that you maybe haven't found on your own, or maybe help you think about your career search in a different way. You can head in different avenues depending on your skill set, and they can really be sort of an advisor that can help you along the way, right? And
Right.
I like to tell candidates as well that it's not just about us helping you to find that one job, or us bringing that one job to you.
Right.
I like our candidates to be able to lean on us for maybe resume writing tips, interview tips, the whole kind of job search package, where they can kind of come to us and look at us as an advisor. And whether we end up being the ones who place them in that dream job that they land in, or maybe just helping them with their resume when they're applying on their own, we like to be there for them just to help kind of in any way that we can.
Absolutely. And even like industry insights, what's happening in the market, all those pieces. Now, you
Exactly.
mentioned something so important on the business side, the cost to recruiting.
Right.
And that seems to be kind of a hurdle, but then also when you understand it, it could be a benefit. Now, the other side of that is, what is the tangible and intangible cost to hiring the wrong person for a business? So what are
Right.
those things that come along with the wrong person in your business?
Right. So there's all kinds of research out there and surveys that have been done on the average cost of a bad hire, right? Career Builder did a survey recently that I think said the average was about $15,000. The average cost of a bad hire could result in about the company spending about $15,000. Now that cost continues to go up the higher level candidate, the higher salary costs and all of that. And I think that if you take a look at the big picture and sort of break down what that cost would be, it's all of
Right,
the upfront hours that you're going to be spending sourcing the job, posting the job, interviewing candidates. Some companies are even paying for job postings, right, on third-party job boards
right,
as well. So you take a look at all of that cost, then onboarding the employee. Have you bought swag items for them? Have you shipped them a laptop? Have you done all of these other things to properly onboard this employee?
right.
And then depending on how long the employee even stays there, there's potential severance package or um, additional costs that are incurred when that relationship ends. So you take all of that into big picture. A bad hire can be pretty costly to an organization, both from a time and financial standpoint.
Absolutely. And the time invested as well with costs, as you mentioned,
Yeah,
putting all those hours and then duplicating it again. So say you have to get rid of somebody, then duplicating again when you find the great person, you're just
right.
redone all this work. So no,
Exactly.
this is great and insightful. And believe it or not, we're almost running out of time. So I have maybe a few more thoughts for
Sure.
you. But what would you say the greatest value recruiter brings to a candidate? And then we kind of touched on it a bit, but also to a business as a consultant or as a partner to the business. What would you say the greatest value would be?
For sure. So we'll start with the business side of that. So as you know, Recruiting in Motion works on contingency basis, and we also offer retained services, right? So there's different benefits depending on the type of service you engage with us. But from a general standpoint, we offer a real big time saving in your hiring and talent acquisition, right? We will do all of the screening and all of the upfront interviewing and reference checks, back checks, all of those things. We can take all of that off of your plate. I think the other big benefit of working with a recruitment company that maybe gets lost sometimes when people think about engaging with a recruiter is that our job is to find you the actual best candidate for this job, not just the best applicant, right?
Right,
So a lot of the times when companies put up a posting, they're limited to interviewing people that apply for that job. So they have their list of applicants, and that's who they go through, right? As they're doing kind of their interviews. Whereas a recruiting company like Recruiting in Motion will actually take your requirements, understand your fit, understand your culture, and go out and specifically headhunt candidates for you. They may not be active job applicants, so you may never see that candidate. And I think that's one of the biggest values of engaging with a recruitment firm. And from a candidate perspective, we touched on it a little bit already, but I think it's just adding an additional element to your job search. You're maybe going to be brought job opportunities that you can't necessarily find on your own. Not every job opportunity that exists is actually out there in the online world. There may be a confidential search or something that's sensitive that may not be able to be publicly posted. And as a job seeker, you want to see all of the opportunities out there, right? So a recruiter may be able to bring some opportunities to your attention that you may not be able to find on your own, and
Absolutely.
provide you with valuable insight into
Right.
the company, right, that you can't necessarily find on your own as well.
Right. This has been so good, Marie, and I wish well, we should probably do this in a longer segment, but thanks so much for joining us. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, like it, comment, share it. If you're watching it on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. But thanks so much. I hope this was very insightful for why you should use a recruitment services or recruiter. And Marie, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks so much for having me, Kelvin. I appreciate it.